Hey guys, welcome back to Sissy's Savories and Sweets. The video you're about to watch is on making those yeasted dinner rolls. Have fun cooking and cook with love. So first things first, make sure you have a proper size bowl because the dough will rise quite a bit and you want to have enough room for your dough to expand. So let's start our dough. In the bowl, you're going to add a cup of warm water. Make sure it's not hot because you don't want to kill your yeast. And then a tablespoon, yes, that's 3 teaspoons, so it's a little bit more than normal, of yeast. And you want this to bloom. Blooming is the process. By the way, I keep my yeast in the fridge in a mason jar because I buy it in bulk at Costco. You want that yeast to bloom. That's letting your yeast get activated. And that takes about 5 minutes. This is a Danish whisk. I use it a lot for my bread and other batters, but it's fabulous and it just comes right off. And it does a great job of blending. So that's gonna take about 5 minutes to bloom. Again, blooming is letting your yeast basically activate in the warm water. And you wanna make sure it's not cold, not hot, but warm, because you don't wanna kill your yeast. This recipe also calls for ½ a cup of sugar. The sugar does feed your yeast, so I'm using, I've got my 1/4 cup because my butter is in my ½ cup. So I'm gonna give this a ½ cup of sugar. Some people replace the sugar with honey, or if you don't use sugar, you could look at agave. But this will feed your yeast and give it something to grow on. So add your sugar and stir that in as well, and that will help your yeast get all bubbly and happy and come to life. And while the yeast is activating, I want to show you where this recipe came from. I bought this cookbook online. This is called 6 Sisters, 6 Ingredients or Less, and I love this cookbook. It's a frequent go-to for me to find recipes. I usually tweak my recipes, but if you're looking for a great resource, this is one that I would recommend. Okay, so our yeast has bloomed beautifully. It's a nice foamy, bubbly top. That is bloomed yeast. By the way, if you hear a little voice in the background, that is Olivia. She's up from her nap. This has got the warm water. This has got the yeast and the sugar. Next, we're gonna add our butter. And that's a ½ cup of butter, and I use vegan because my daughter Sarah, look at that foamy top, is dairy free. Okay, next tip I want to show you guys is I have my eggs. You want to have everything be the same temperature because you don't want to shock your yeast. So I warm them up in a bowl of warm water. I'm just going to take them out. Now, when you look at recipes, they will say, and it's a French term, and I pronounce it wrong, but it just means to have everything out and ready. So I don't use all the separate containers, just it saves on dishes, but I do have my ingredients pulled out so they're ready. And the eggs are beaten. So like I said, mise en something, I don't remember the French term, mise en place. Anyway, I don't pull out all those separate bowls to make a big mess, but I will have my ingredients on hand to make my life easier. And you look at that foamy dough, and you want to whip your eggs or beat your eggs. So I've got my eggs in a bowl. They were brought to room temperature. Hi, Olivia. What you doing? And I'll bring her on camera in just a second. She just woke up from a nap, so she's in a pretty good mood. She's been a little sick. So just whip your eggs. Buggy. Oh yes, we have buggies. Put that, where does that go? Where does that go? There you go. Olivia is a buggy hunter. So eggs go in, and then it calls for a teaspoon of salt. You want to help cook, Liv? So in goes your salt. And then the last ingredient is your flour. And you want about 4 cups of flour. This is a very sticky dough. So I'm just gonna put my cup in, level it off. And there's 1. Now we have unusually cold temperatures here now, so you have to let this be in a kind of warm spot to yeast or to rise. So in a window or just someplace where it will not get super cold, because the yeast does need to be happy. There's the first 4. You may need to add a little more, but all the smells. If you guys can, hi, you want to stir? Okay, Olivia wants to stir. So I'm gonna bring her up here, and you want to stir? Olivia likes to help Tanda. You want to stir? No. Olivia is my great niece. For those of you that have not met her yet, stir. Good job. See? Yeah, good job. And as you make this, you guys, you will learn to feel how the dough feels. Hi. Yeah, we're gonna say hi in just a second because we're almost done. Yeah, this may need just a little more flour. You don't want to add too much flour. I encourage you to cook with the kids, teach them early. I purchased for Olivia a toy kitchen, a small one, and it does need a little more flour, and a little dish set. I'm gonna have ½ a cup more. Now, Olivia, Tanya is just gonna put you on the counter here so you can stir. So usually I go live, stir, but my go live is not working, so we're gonna record, and we're just gonna include her in the video. Yeah, good job. Stir, stir, stir. That's how it's supposed to look, you guys. Let it come together. She's smiling at the camera even though she's not on it. So do you see how that's coming together? It's still sticky, but it's coming together. Okay, and this yeast or this whisk is just wonderful because it just does its job. But oh, hang on, baby, we're almost done. Hang on, honey. So that's how it looks, and you can just take your finger and wipe off that dough, and that washes up lickety split. Now get paper towel for my finger. Excuse the reach. But you see that dough? It is super sticky, but pulled together. And that is exactly how you want it. And you want that to rise for usually 6 hours, or it can be done overnight. And there's little Olivia. What were you gonna say? Can you say hello? Hello. So, happy cooks, cook with love. I will show you, hello. I will show you how to roll this out. You can do croissant style rolls or rounded dinner rolls. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I haven't decided, but I'm gonna cover that up and let that sit in a warm area and rise for 6 to 8 hours. So we will catch you guys later.